just seen a video, like a really short clip from Klaus Schwab of the World Economic Forum. And he said, it was hard to understand him. So I think he said by 2050, I think it will be sooner than that. He said Los Angeles will be a driverless city, meaning every single car will be automated by AI. It will be self-driven. You will not drive your own car anymore. You by that time, you're not going to own your own car. So a lot of people think electric vehicles are the future. And I guess that's true in some ways. But electric vehicles are also a huge psyop, basically, to push you into that system. So it's like a stepping stone that they want to, they always, this is the thing, for every single thing to happen, like for these people's agenda, for the future agenda that is at play, and definitely very, it might, like, once you see it, is so evident, it's all around you. But if you're a person that hasn't woken up to what the heck is actually going on in the world, you might not see it. But it's very prevalent for me, and I know it's prevalent for people that know this stuff. But it's like they always use a reason to get you to do something. Like, so for instance, they will use the whole climate thing as a reason, like, to push you into electric cars. But if you actually care about the climate, or sorry, I really don't like the word climate, because that's not accurate. That's not accurate. And I can't really go further on that because you're actually not allowed to talk about that, which is another thing. But if you know what I'm talking about, what really matters at the end of the day, what should matter, but they don't ever talk about this because they don't actually care, you guys. But what really should matter is pollution. Pollution is a genuine concern. We are polluting our beautiful earth beyond anything imaginable. We're polluting the air, the soil, the water, everything. We are completely destroying things, you know, and then in turn we're polluting ourselves and all of the animals that live on this planet. But so the whole thing with electric vehicles is they market them as being a cleaner alternative to gasoline or diesel engines, which is not true at all. If you look into the manufacturing of these cars, the batteries are very, very, very toxic. They have a limited lifespan, and then they need to be thrown out. You know, you cannot recycle the battery, not at this point anyways. And it's, in order to mine the materials that the lithium, the cobalt, all this stuff, and then the car still consists of many, what do you want to call it, like petroleum industry products, like oil. Like, you still need to drill for oil. Like, they don't burn gas, but to put this car together and to make this car function is still horrible for the environment. It's not any better than a gas vehicle. And like I said, the batteries are really, really toxic. And I would say they're definitely a lot more toxic than driving a gasoline engine and burning fuel. But anyway, besides that point doesn't matter. That point is not what I'm talking about here. That is not important in this video. The thing is they're pushing you into electric vehicles because electric vehicles will go onto the grid, and they're putting in place a whole system called IoT, which stands for the Internet of Things. And in the future, with the blockchain, just like how Bitcoin's on the blockchain, every single thing is going to be on the blockchain. And the reason why everything's going to be on the blockchain is because they want to monitor everything. So your vehicle is going to be connected with the Internet of Things. I know this sounds crazy. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it sounds like I'm a crazy person. But every single thing that in the future that you will interact with will be on the Internet of Things. That's why everything is now smart. It's actually not smart, it's stupid, to be honest. But that's why everything is now smart. That's why, you know, you can buy a fridge that connects to the internet. You can buy a stove that connects to the internet. Actually, the stove we just bought the oven we just bought connects to the internet. You know, every single thing is connecting to the internet. They have the smart meters on your houses now connected to the internet to read digitally and from afar how much consumption, monitoring your consumption. Every single thing, your car is smart, your cell phone is smart, every single thing, and you will see it in the future more and more. Every single thing you interact with will be connected to the internet. For instance, we have Lutron light switches. See, this is the thing. I am against all this stuff, but I live with a person who is obsessed with technology. So unfortunately, like, I hate this. Like, we are building a prison around us, and my husband can't see it. Like, I don't know if he sees it. I try to tell him. I don't know if he just doesn't care. He wants these stupid things, but he doesn't understand that he's helping to set up this prison system around us. So with the whole electrical car thing, and already in my car, which is a 2017, I feel like, you know, thank God my car doesn't listen to me, but a lot of the new cars that are listening to you all the time, actually Teslas listen to you all the time. When you purchase that car and put it into your name, you literally sign like a privacy, or when you turn it on, I don't know when you do, you have to accept the privacy policy. And if you can Google this for yourself if you don't believe me, it states that, like, they will listen and, like, I don't know, they send all this information to some data center, and they actually listen for specific things to know your opinions. They want to know, like, your thoughts on gender, on sexual preferences, on race, on, like, all these weird things. They're monitoring you. They're holding on to that data. So when you speak in your car, everything is being recorded, and they're holding on to that data. And I mean, that's a whole other video in itself, but, you know, this is another thing. We're trading our convenience. Our convenience is, all this stuff is, like, all sold to us as convenient, but we're actually becoming slaves to this prison that they're building around us, this system. And okay, so the electric car thing, sorry, and this is why I haven't made a video on it, because I don't know how to organize my thoughts. I branch out way too often. So the whole electrical car thing, eventually they're trying to push you into the electrical car thing, but that is actually not the long-term goal or destination, because very soon they're going to start the autonomous driverless vehicles, and that they're going to start pushing that. And I do know in specific countries they are already using these cars a little bit. So eventually it's going to become convenient for you not to own a car, because already, if you look at bylaws, this is how they do it. They do everything through the law, and they sell it to you in a way, oh, it's good. Like, for instance, less cars on the road equals less pollution. Don't you want that? Less cars on the road equals less parking spaces equals more parks. But the thing is, nothing ever gets better. It never gets better, right? But they sell it to you like it's going to get better, right? So already with construction, I know in the city of Vancouver, I believe they're making towers, like condo buildings, with no parking. I think the law is you only need, like, or no, you can't surpass a certain amount, but so the law is, like, you can't surpass, I forget, don't quote me on this, but it was something like 20% parking stalls for the unit sold or something. Like, so it's like very little amount of stalls versus units, which means there's not going to be parking for you. So it soon becomes an inconvenience to own a car. Another thing they're doing is they're doing a lot of car-free days in certain cities, and they make it a pain in the ass to drive your car, because now you have to reroute yourself a different way to avoid the car-free zone, right? So again, now you're like, fuck, owning a car is becoming inconvenient. Like, I'm just going to start Ubering everywhere, right? And then, so eventually what will happen is Uber and such will become autonomous. And then, you know, you won't own a car because you won't be able to park it anywhere. And then if you can find parking, the parking is going to be astronomically expensive. if you can find parking. You're probably not going to have parking where you live, you know. And plus, too, they're pushing us out of the fuel vehicles because they're going to pump up, just with Trump and all that stuff, they're making the oil and the gas way more expensive. That's to come. It's already really expensive. And so the electrical thing is it's not to actually get you out of gasoline cars. It's to push you over into the autonomous thing. And another reason why, and sorry, and this is why I'm so bad at these videos, because I cannot gather my thoughts and arrange them in a way that makes sense and stays on track. But already a lot of condos do not have the capacity to charge everyone's vehicle. So we're starting to see a lot of these charging stations come up in public parking lots. If you look, you will find, and at nighttime, they are packed because so many people now have switched over to electric vehicles, but they don't have the capability to charge where they live. So they're having to stop and charge on their way home from work, or either in the morning on the way to work or whatever. And so this whole, like, why I call it a psyop is because they're pushing everyone over into that direction. But then, and this has already actually happened in some places, then they start to say that they're having a power grid shortage, a power grid issue. So, hey guys, shut off your air conditioners. You can't charge your cars. Like, try not to charge your car right now. So eventually what's going to happen, and I'm telling you guys, I know this stuff because I've been studying this stuff for years. They are pushing you into a position where they got you. They got you. So all of a sudden, you know, you're not going to be able to charge your car. Oops. Now you can't go anywhere. Oops. You can't go anywhere. See how they got you? See how they got you? So then they're going to start to make a controlled system. So, and they're already doing this. Like I said, there's already towns and stuff where you can only drive, there's like car-free Sundays. You can't drive in this zone past this time. For instance, when we were in France, we got fined for driving in some area. Honestly, we don't even know what the hell the ticket was about. It's something about we weren't supposed to drive there. Because I don't even know. Like, it was like a road and everything, and there were cars, but like you pay extra because they're trying to encourage people not to drive. So we got like this fine for driving in some area. Okay, so they're getting you into the position where they have the capability to control you. So right now, if you have a gasoline car, you can go fill up, and like in my car, for instance, I can't remember exactly, but I think I have like 700 or 800 kilometers when I fill up. So that's a lot. That's a huge tank. I have a huge tank in this car. But you can store fuel on your property if you want to, right? You're more self-sufficient. Right now, for the time being, they can't see if you have fuel stored on your property. So you can go, and I can keep going. I can drive for 5 hours in this vehicle and not have to fill up. But in an electric vehicle already, you have to stop and charge, and you're being monitored everywhere you go. And if they want to shut the system off, if they want to shut that power grid system off, you're trapped. And so that's how I would explain the future. And if you guys enjoyed this video, I'll talk so much more about this stuff because I know a lot, and I know a lot on every single topic. But what I would say, the future is they're setting up a big fat mouse trap for you. And it seems tempting because the cheese is inside and you love cheese, and it all looks so tempting and convenient and smart and eco-friendly, right? But it's not. It is a big fat trap. And so with the whole electrical vehicle thing, they're just going to get you into that trap. Now you're driving the electric car. Now they're regulating the power. So now you can only charge on Mondays. Like, your neighborhood only gets to charge twice a week. And so you have to make do with that charge for the whole week. And if you need any more, well, you got to take public transit, or you're going to have to take Uber. It's going to be stuff like that. It's just going to start to clamp down and restrict and restrict and restrict more and more and more until you are doing public transport and autonomous vehicles, which is going to be Uber. It's like an Uber, but it's a driverless Uber. because they don't want you having freedom in the future. So that's just one variable of an insane prison that is being set up around us, you guys. And it's really time to wake up. It's time to stop listening to the television, celebrities, people that are being paid to promote things. I don't know, like, if you, I don't watch TV. I haven't watched TV. And to be honest, like, I used to watch like 2 shows or something, but I haven't really just like had the TV on and like watched TV in like 15 years, pretty much. Like, I don't even know. Okay, like realistically a good 10 years, like solidly. And when you get out of the mainframe, when you step back from the matrix, I don't know if like I just like my pineal gland is really intact or what, but you can see everything. You can see everything, and it's insane how there's a whole system being set up around us and people are not aware. So the electrical vehicle thing is only for a short term, and sorry I keep calling it electrical vehicle, the electric vehicle. It's just a short term thing to get you out of the gas cars. The end goal is public transport and autonomous vehicles for the wealthy. The extreme wealthy will always have their own vehicles. They will always, and they will always have the option of either to be autonomously driven or to drive themselves. Whether it be, I guess eventually, like, we're going to be using drones. They're already starting to sell these in China, which is really crazy. Like these human, I don't know, what do you want to call it? Like a drone that has the capacity to hold a human, like literally fly around like crazy, right? For low flying vehicles. They are doing this. They're starting this in China. I am not making this up. So, you know, but the future is, this electrical vehicle thing is very short term. So it's just kind of like a psyop thing to get you out of the freedom zone where you have your own freedom and into like that, a little bit of that mousetrap that I'm talking to you about, you know. But yeah, with the power restrictions coming up, they're going to start saying like, oh my gosh, like, you know, it's so bad climate, like the power grid is overloaded, and you know, we don't have the capacity to have everybody charging their vehicles all the time, all at once. So we're going to have to start restricting and start making zones, like only this zone can charge on this day and that zone. And you can only, and that's another thing, they plan on even how far you drive. You're going to only be allowed to go so far in your car. And I'm not kidding. They have the power to shut these vehicles off whenever they feel like. Literally, it will just slow down and pull off the road and you're going to be screwed. Like, they're, with the power of these electrical vehicles, they can control everything. Not only are they always tracking you, they're always listening to you, they can control every single thing. And eventually too, there's going to be no-go zones, because they're going to restrict humans. They plan on making a lot of areas that they have human restrictions because of the environment. This is all coming up. And if you guys want to know more about this stuff, please let me know. I would actually really enjoy talking about it, but I would like to know kind of which direction to go. And also, like, maybe if we can just try to do one topic at a time, because I'm really bad. Like, if I knew what topic I'm going to speak on, maybe I could, like, sort out my video better and stay on track. But this was literally on a whim, because I just seen the short with Klaus Schwab saying how LA is going to be a driverless city. And it's like, it's not just LA, you guys. This is going to be the whole entire world. This is the future they want. And I would really like to talk more, because I know a lot about this, like I said. And yeah, okay, I'll just leave it here. I'm just going to put this video out here. This topic does give me a bit of anxiety, because it's so different from my normal stuff. But also it's something that I've been thinking about talking about for so long, and I just don't know how to get into it. So, okay, leave me your thoughts. I would really genuinely like to know. And be kind in the comments. Otherwise, I will delete your comment, because I do not tolerate rude comments. And yeah, okay, have a good day.